The Treasure of Silas. Silas sat at his kitchen table, buried under a mountain of envelopes. Each one held a bill, a reminder of what he owed. His brow furrowed, a heavy sigh escaping his lips. How will I ever get ahead, he wondered, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. The numbers on the statements seemed to mock him, growing larger with each passing month. He felt trapped, as if invisible chains of debt held him fast, pulling him further and further down. Sleep offered little escape from the constant worry. He tried everything he could think of to earn more, to catch up. He worked extra hours, chased every opportunity, but the emptiness inside him only grew. The more he pursued wealth, the more restless his heart became, never truly satisfied. One evening, exhausted and disheartened, Silas picked up his old, worn Bible. He had always believed, but lately his faith felt overshadowed by financial fear. He prayed for guidance, for a light in the darkness. His eyes fell upon the story of the poor widow. She gave only 2 small copper coins, all she had, while others gave much more. Jesus said she had given more than all of them, because she gave from her heart, not from her excess. Then he read, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." A chill ran down his spine. He understood then that debt wasn't just a financial burden, it was a spiritual weight, binding his freedom and peace. "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This verse struck him deeply. He realized his heart had been chasing money, making it an idol. He had been worshiping wealth instead of trusting God. He discovered that God's idea of wealth wasn't about hoarding, but about generosity. It was about contentment with what he had, and using his resources to bless others, not just himself. Greed only led to an insatiable hunger. Finally, Silas learned that God didn't just want his money, he wanted his trust. He wanted a cheerful, faithful surrender of all his worries and possessions, knowing that God would provide. It wasn't about the act of giving, but the heart behind it. Silas decided to take small steps. He started by giving a portion of what he had, even when it felt difficult. He practiced contentment, finding joy in simple things, and slowly, the grip of fear began to loosen. He disciplined himself to manage his money wisely, paying down debts little by little. More importantly, he learned to trust. Each time a bill arrived, instead of panic, he found himself praying, surrendering his worries to God. The fear that once consumed him was replaced by a deep, abiding peace. Silas no longer chased fleeting wealth, but chose to invest in eternal treasures. He understood that true wealth was found in trust in God and a generous heart, shared with his beloved Seraphina and Orion. Silas and Seraphina began to teach Orion about generosity from a young age. They showed him how even small acts of kindness could make a big difference, explaining that true happiness came not from what they owned, but from what they shared. Their home became a place of open doors and open hearts. They hosted neighbors, shared meals with those in need, and found immense joy in community. The laughter that filled their home was a treasure far greater than any gold. Silas found new purpose in his work. He no longer saw it as a means to accumulate, but as an opportunity to serve. He treated his colleagues with respect and integrity, becoming known not for his riches, but for his character. There were still challenges, of course. Life always brought its share of storms. But now, when difficulties arose, Silas and Seraphina faced them together, hand in hand, anchored by their shared faith and trust. Orion grew, watching his parents live out their faith. He saw that true security wasn't in a bulging bank account, but in a loving family, a giving spirit, and an unwavering belief in a benevolent God. Silas realized that the treasure he had once desperately sought was not something to be found, but something to be cultivated within. It was the peace that surpassed understanding, the joy of giving, and the freedom of a heart unburdened by greed. Years passed, and Silas, Seraphina, and Orion continued their journey, their lives a testament to the power of a transformed heart. They were rich, not in worldly possessions, but in love, faith, and purpose. And so, the story of Silas became a quiet whisper, a gentle reminder that the greatest treasure of all is not found in what we accumulate, but in the boundless love we share, the unwavering trust we place, and the eternal hope that lights our way.